Hi, so in a previous video we finished this thing, which is our shaking cleaner. Now we made a small one and we cleaned some nuts and bolts, but obviously we've got a lot of big pieces of steel that have come off that lawnmower, and they all look like this really. They're painty and rusty and oily, and we want to clean them. Now I don't fancy taking a wire brush and an angle grinder and spending 2 days cleaning that, so we made this bigger version so we can chuck it in there. Now on the previous video when we made this, I wasn't too sure how I was going to hold this box on. We want to use a wet and dry system, so sometimes dry, sometimes wet. And if I fix that on by drilling a hole in the bottom, although you can seal it, it would turn out to be a nightmare. Because remember, the damn thing vibrates, and it's vibrating with bits of steel knocking about in there, so it's a pretty harsh environment. So at the end of the day, what I did was I took this foot plate and drilled some 12mm holes, threaded them out, put some 12mm bar in, locking nut on, and we can change the size of this container. Now, this container at the moment is 35 litres. It's got a clamp plate on top to hold the whole thing together. But if we take that out and lower that clamp plate, we can put smaller containers in there and do different sized jobs with different mixers. So this one's a 3 litre container. I'm going to put a couple of 3 litre containers on there. I'm going to chuck some of this stuff in with our miracle cleaning solution. Now, if you watched the previous video, you know what's in that cleaning solution. It's really simple. It's only 400 millilitres of vinegar, 2 tablespoons of salt, 20 millilitres of washing up liquid, and 100 millilitres of isopropyl alcohol. And in the video when we tried this cleaner, in half an hour it had cleaned everything. Now, as the cleaning media in the previous video, we used cooking beans or zirconium oxide. In this one, what I'm going to use is this stuff. It's 10mm gravel. Now, it's meant really for making up concrete, but it's effectively sharp quartz. So we're going to put some 10mm gravel in there, cleaner, dirty parts, clamp it down, set it going, and we'll see what happens in half an hour. Okay, so I've made a beast, that is for sure, but to be honest, it's amazing. I mean, some of this stuff, it's coming out like new metal, and I've given it 10 minutes in that machine. And this one, I mean, you can't tell whether that had anything on it at all. It's absolutely astounding. This one, it's got parts of it that it's cleaned really beautifully, and there's still little bits of paint still sticking to it. But like I say, it's 10 minutes, so I'm going to give it another 10 minutes and see how it does that. And the same here. I mean, this is just blowing me away, to be honest. Anyway, let's get that back in. Okay, and that's it. After 30 minutes, that's what we're getting. I mean, there's still some little bits of paint on some of them, but these are fairly chunky bits. They're obviously bigger than nuts and bolts, so pretty cool, really. Now, obviously, I'm going up in stages. First thing we did was our little dryer and did all those nuts and bolts. Then we made that machine and did these much larger pieces. Now, the reason that machine is so chunky is because I'm going to do those. There's 4 of those, which are the wheel rims, and as you can see, they are a mess. So that's going to be a nightmare to clean. But this is what 30 minutes is doing in that solution. So obviously what I want to do is get a bigger tub and try and clean these, which is the next thing that I'm going to be doing. But I'm totally impressed by that, and I think that is an awesome job, really. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.